Hi everyone, this is audap. Let's continue our game of Buried Stars on Nintendo Switch. Okay. Let's see if we can get some keywords from Phater. See, we must make an official request that the broadcasting station find out the cause and provide compensation to all contestants. Everyone, share this comment. Compensation. Many Phater users demand B stars to compensate for any damage dealt to the contestants due to this accident. He doesn't seem to realize what you have done to our band. If he knows that you incited a fight between people, he will expose it first. Or may I inform those facts? See, well, I don't care whether you are Scunwalk or not. I will make a surprise announcement soon. Look forward to it. Hissing posted a comment that he would make a surprising announcement on Phater without mentioning details. Are you still angry at me that you couldn't make your debut because of me? Still? He decided to respond calmly. Am I wrong? If you hadn't incited the other members, we could have made our debut. And I wouldn't have been humiliated by participating in B-Stars. I guess it won't be easy to talk about it properly, considering the past incident. There was an immediate response. Are you inciting a fight between them like you did before? Inciting a fight was your specialty. I was trying to improve our band to get out of the indie music. To get out of the indie music like you did. I'll try to patch things up smoothly. Patch up? So you sat back and did nothing when the other members criticized me? You were the core member of the band and had the largest influence. I was a newcomer. Can you call it a patch-up if a strong leader like you are criticizing a powerless newcomer? That was a death sentence to me. What was I supposed to do back then? Cancellation of the record deal caused a huge conflict among the band members. Members who were asked to leave the band by the agency fell out with the rest of the members. You sided with the members who would have been kicked out. Usuk, the vocalist who had tried to facilitate the band's deal with the agency, still resented Dion for spoiling their chance. I don't know. Yeah, he needs to get over it. He thought the conversation was over. It didn't seem like there would be any new mentions soon. Honestly, I mean, it just means that if you couldn't make it, that means you didn't have any talent yourself. You had to lean on other people, you know. Let's try that. Try to be nice. Then it'll be mean. If you agreed, it could have gone well with no trouble. Other members would have also agreed. The band was formed around you. You knew that we had to do something. Nothing's changed, really. Cancellation of the record deal led to a conflict among the band members. Members who were asked to leave the band by the agency fell out with the rest of the members. There was an immediate response. You can't admit that you broke up the band? And you decided to remain on B-Stars for your own success. I'll be strong. You knew that we had to kick out unqualified members, but you didn't want to play the bad guys, so you objected to my idea and insisted we should go together. Now, what does it feel like to wait to be eliminated because of them, huh?
나는
Dean thought about it again, but he still couldn't think otherwise. Dean strongly objected to the deal because he couldn't leave anyone behind. Dean sided with the members who would have been kicked out. The record deal got cancelled because Dean opposed it even though he wasn't among the members that would have been kicked out. It led to a deep divide between the members that would have been abandoned by the agency and those who would have stayed. Woo-Suk, the vocalist who had tried to facilitate the band's deal with the agency, still resented Yoon for spoiling their chance. The collapse of the record deal created fissures within the band. Yoon sided with the members who would have been forced out and their new vocalist heaped blame on Yoon. It was time to wrap up the conversation. At any conclusion, Hastings jumped to the conclusion that his former classmate, who had first disclosed Hastings' violent past, must be S. Yoon. Okay. I can't believe that's their idea of a quick save. The same number of button prompts that a regular save does. Unraveling. Hissing is planning to threaten other contestants.
또 시작이네요.
I knew he didn't have a brain. But I didn't think he'd seriously ask other contestants to drop out.
아무래도
I guess he kind of figured he couldn't change the ranking.
그런 편이죠.
Of course not. There's a thing called momentum. Once you lose it, it's hard to regain it.
그땐
Some did during the preliminaries.
그거야.
The finals are different. It's all about the spirit. Once you gain the momentum, you rarely lose it. But if you do lose it, you won't get it back easily.
그래?
So how does it look for me? Seal paused at Dion's question. Seal spoke slowly after examining Dion for a moment. Average, but I think there's a small upward shift in momentum.
한마디로
Pretty stable compared to Hissing.
그럼
So are you saying there's no way Hissing would get his momentum back?
네.
Look what he's doing. His choices will lead him to self-destruction. He's practically asking the viewers to send him home.
이럴 줄은.
He won't get anything out of this audition if that continues. He said he had nothing to lose. I think he still does, although it would be over for him soon. What do you mean by he still does?
네.
I think he still has a slight possibility. Seal shook his head. What do you think would happen if people found out about what he did? An ex-bully threatening other contenders to drop out? Then things would get out of control for him. He should have just stayed quiet and waited for his chance.
혹시
If I tried to persuade him again by telling him this,
말도 안
do
돼요.
you think he'll listen to you? He's not listening to anyone right now. He's obsessed with his own tactics. Oh, okay, well, I didn't get any new words from that, so no point in even having that conversation. Unless there are some new words or new profiles or something. If it's just a, minus my mood, if it just decreases my mood, then it's not worth it.
사실은
To be honest, Hissing is the real beneficiary of B-Stars. But he's been through many difficult times.
그치만요.
Not because of the show. The show tried to back him up, but he brought them upon himself.
도윤이 형,
Think about how things were before his school violence was revealed. His rudeness had been glorified as charm, and his crudeness was edited out. Dean couldn't help himself but to nod his head.
아시겠어요?
Right? Only positive images of him were aired. Even how the show dealt with his past. They didn't know he had a criminal record back then.
있잖아.
When it comes to the past, the show was favorable towards Ina too.
아니요.
Ina? They didn't even talk about her past. You think they were... You might think they are similar, but not talking about it is different from making it look positive. What's another name for ill-mentioned editing? Devilish editing, right? It was the other way around for Hyusung. So I guess you can call that angelic editing? See, during the episodes about the contestants' past, Hyusung's past was depicted almost positively. One could say it was embellished. The
그럴지도.
executive must be busy figuring out the amount of damages they will be held liable.
결국
They are certainly responsible for this accident. They'll try their best to come up with a solution, but that won't be easy. I don't think they were able to agree on a single opinion or policy.
그거야.
I told you they were caught off guard. They are just busy trying to dodge bullets. Even the official account's gotten mixed up.
아무래도요.
Even the official account used to be run under Seasoning's instructions. The command center is gone, and everyone is lashing out at them right now. If they even have one slip of the tongue, it will only aggravate the situation. Do you think the staff member managing their account will be okay?
아,
Wow, you are worried about a lot of people. Seal put his hand under his chin and paused for a moment. I think he's okay for now because everyone's so busy. Are you saying he'll be in trouble later?
네.
Yes, certainly. The person with the least power would have to take the most responsibility.
너무 나갔어요.
He's trying to run the show now.
글쎄.
What's he going to talk about?
모르겠어요.
You're the one who just finished talking to him. What would I know?
그건
Good point. Dean scratched his head and the seal sighed.
혹시나
Wouldn't he talk? Well, wouldn't he talk about you?
어?
Me?
말하자면
The thing you mentioned earlier about dropping out of the show. You refused it, right? And now he wants to reveal what he knows as a way of taking revenge.
아니야.
No, I don't think so.
그렇다는 건
You should ask a question with a certain answer in your mind.
Huh?
Oh, I'm sorry, that wasn't my intention. Anyways, we can only guess as to what he's thinking. How would a normal person like us know what's in his clever brain? I hope he doesn't cause some big trouble that we can't control. Well, once again, I can hardly even mention his name without someone dropping my mood. Oh, Seal's just so bitchy. He's just so moody. The girls have a better mood than him. That's some pathetic logic.
그래?
You don't agree with him?
그렇다니까요.
Why would the person who exposed his past attack others as well?
그래도
Yes, you said they'd do something to the person in the last place. That's as good as sniping at Hyusung, no?
아니죠.
This is just bait. There are too many details of others too, just to consider them as the byproduct of attacking Hyusung. Seal continued while tilting his head. Killing the person in last place? That's vague. But descriptions of the panic attacks and scholarship issues were quite detailed.
어?
Do you think those rumors are true?
모르겠어요.
Well, how would I know? Seal suddenly fell silent. What I'm sure of is that it's not just for attacking Hyusung. Oh man, I can't mention anything around you. Oh, you're so moody. Moody. I don't even get any new words out of your moodiness. It's so difficult to portray him in a positive way.
아니야.
He's not that bad. You'll see once you get to talk to him.
아니죠.
I don't think I will. Seal seemed adamant.
도윤이 형
This is why he's being rude to you.
아시겠어요?
The edits were so against you. You knew it, right? You were portrayed as a hungry hyena waiting for any chance. I saw the captured images of the show and people's responses. If they had put in half the effort they made for him, no one would have made a fuss about it.
글쎄.
You don't know that.
아니요.
I told them countless times that all contenders must be treated equally.
그래.
I heard.
정말요?
Wow, I thought you were going to ask me if I was lying. Seal fiddled with the tip of his messenger bag.
소혜성
Hyesung is playing the victim right now, but he's only a beneficiary after all. All he does is whine when in fact he's been enjoying all the privileges. Okay.
도대체
Drop out out of nowhere?
아마도
I think he's doing that because his ranking won't go up as he has expected.
문제는 그거야.
He just didn't know how much headwind he'd have to endure. Ji-young shook her head with a grim expression on her face.
아마
I guess he has his own plans.
그게
Some people have turned hostile towards him, even on Phater.
그렇다고 해서
But he shouldn't force other people to drop out. The votes were made by viewers. Asking us to drop out can be seen as ignoring the viewers, too. Ji-young frowned as if she was having a headache. Well, who am I kidding?
저기
You had your reasons. That's what you think? The agency announced the reason why I left the group on my behalf. They said I got tired of working in this business. How does that sound?
글쎄요.
That can't be the only reason.
그래.
You seem pretty certain.
그건
Nothing simple.
그치만
At the end of the day, that's the only reason. I barely got away by agreeing to keep my mouth shut. Silence after Ji-young left. Her agency made an announcement on behalf of her, and she had lately felt strongly pessimistic. She released no comment herself. All of us endured many hardships since joining B-Stars. It's selfish of him if he's blindly trying to get rid of us. He's probably doing that because he's agitated right now. If he sees us individually as he did with me earlier, he'll come back to his senses.
나도야.
I believe he will. I know how people act under stress and pressure. I just hope he comes back before things get more dangerous. Unfair demand. Ji-young's thought dropping out is a betrayal to everyone that has supported them. It's difficult to understand how he can threaten those he's gone through tough times with. Ooh, rapport event.
너도 컨셉이라고 생각해? 공황.
S 승연이 한 얘기 계속 신경 쓰여요? 커피랑 공황이 상극인지 아닌지 전 몰라요.
Ji-young dropped her eyes for a moment.
맞아. 둘은 안 맞아. 치료할 때도 카페인은 끊으라고 해. 이젠 어떤 생각이 들어?
그런 거라면 왜 하신 거예요? 의사도 끊으라는 걸.
호전됐으니까. 베스타 참가 전에는 거의 떨쳐낸 상태였으니까.
Ji-young looked Ji-young straight in the eyes.
그래도 바리스타까진
엄마 가게였어.
집안일이었던 거네요?
작은 카페. 아르바이트 구할 형편도 아니었거든. 도와주겠다니까 얼마나 기뻐하셨는지 몰라. 상태 정말 나빴을 땐 집에 틀어박혀서 아무것도 못했으니까.
기쁘셨겠죠. 일손을 돕는다는 건 괜찮아지고 있다는 증거니까.
나야말로 가족들 덕분에 일어설 수 있었어. 세상이 다 몰아붙일 때도 가족은 내 편이었으니까 아무것도 묻지 않고 그저 기다려줬어. 언젠가부터 조금씩 커피를 다시 마시기 시작했어. 조절해가면서. 진짜로 괜찮아졌다는 실감이 났지. 그래서 여기 베스타에도 올 수 있었던 거고.
She embraced herself with one arm as if leaning against it.
공황 한 번 생기면 영원히 나락에 떨어지는 게 아니야. 잊혀진 것만 같다가 다시 나오기도 해. 나름 공생할 수 있게 됐다고 생각했었어. 베스타에서는 피할 수가 없었지만 발작할 때까지 몰아붙일 거라곤 상상 못했으니까.
작정하고 한 일이었죠. 너무 심했다고요.
A faint smile was seen on her pale face.
그런데 그때부터 순위가 상승세를 타더라. 희한한 세상이지. 극복담을 좋아하면서도 누군가 멀쩡하게 딛고 서면 고가워해. 극복담은 픽션에서나 환영받는 얘기일지도 몰라. 가족 일을 도우면서 나아졌을 뿐인데 그런 평범한 얘긴데.
영희 누나.
컨셉질이라고 의심할 만한 데가 충분하다. 이렇게 요약되고 마는 거야.
Family care. Junior worked as a barista at her mom's cafe. With her family's sincere care and appropriate medical treatment, she could regain her strength. Junior worked as a barista in her mother's cafe. She got treatment while staying with her family, and her symptoms got better enough to enjoy some coffee. Oh, that was actually good. That's amazing. Not used to good things happening. Certainly not on the first try.
아마
He must be thinking this is the end.
맞아요.
He certainly seemed desperate. It's a serious situation for everyone. Hissing's feeble-minded. Ji-young stared at Dyun's for a second. You know a lot about Hissing.
아무래도
Not really. It's just that he tends to talk to me more often.
그런가?
Weird, huh? Do you look like a good listener?
저기
I don't think so.
그러니까
Not at all. That was fast. I'm just jealous. He was desperate, but you embraced him as what he was.
아시잖아요.
I'd do the same with you.
아니야.
I wasn't saying I needed your attention.
어?
Still, you shouldn't feel discouraged.
아니에요.
No, I barely held it. Ji-young smiled weakly. I hope he comes back to his senses for your sake. What? Why for my sake? Why do I care? He's not really my friend.
근데
Do you think Soo-young is capable of doing that?
아니요.
In my opinion, no.
나도야.
Same here. Sue put their heads together and nodded.
그건 그렇지만
She might have given away something if Hissing insisted on getting some info. But I don't think that was anything significant.
아무래도
Considering their characters, that sounds about right.
그렇지.
He must be protesting with that information on his hand. He should realize it's a waste of time. He'll eventually come to a realization. I'm just hoping it won't be too late for him.
어,
Yeah, it's too dangerous in there. Ji-young stared at the other side of the door. A long sigh came out of her mouth. He's so reckless. I wonder what he's up to. Whether he made a mistake or not, we shouldn't argue in here.
네.
Yeah, it's dangerous. Right, we'll talk about it after we get out of here first. We are not to judge anyone now. Compensation.
그나마
That's like the only good news we've gotten so far.
결국
After all, WS had to take the responsibility regardless of what Phater users were saying.
어,
Well, WBS has to be conscious of its viewers. Do you think we'll receive an insurance settlement? Ji-yoon covered her mouth with her long hair. Her eyes were on her feet as if she was lost in other thoughts.
만약에
If we'll be compensated, honestly, I want to stay in the finals. We came this far while sacrificing so many things. We won't be able to have some of those ever again. You get one, you lose one. I just want this to continue, somehow. Though, it can never be the same like before. Ji-young stared into space as if she was looking at something precious.
어?
Do you mean the beginning of B-Stars, or even before B-Stars? I don't know why, though.
그때
I'm talking about the time when me and my team members were enduring hardships to gain more popularity and achieve our dream. We were achieving our goals one at a time. I want to become a trainee at least. I want to receive a song from a composer. I want to write lyrics. I want to have a proper practice room, and I want to go up on the stage.
어?
You achieved all those goals. You achieved all those goals then.
어,
It was a dream come true, and I couldn't believe it. We never made it to the top, but we thought we would make it one day. With all of your members.
맞아.
We went through all those times together from the beginning. Ji-yoon became a trainee to make her dream come true. She wanted to enjoy popularity together with her team members who had stuck with her through difficult times. I guess you've been through those times too. Ji-yoon quietly nodded. I came too far to turn back now.
어,
Right, there's no going back. But if I could at least continue from this point on. Wishful thoughts. Ji-young is hoping that if the broadcasting station actually plans to compensate the contestants, they should resume the show instead of giving them money so that she can continue to take advantage of this opportunity. Maybe.
너는?
The person hissing mentioned, in your opinion, what are the odds of them being S. Ji-young?
글쎄요.
He must have thought the odds are high. But I'm not sure. Ji-young nodded while meeting Ji-young's eyes. Ji-young raised her pale hand and gently stroked her chin. He thought he was being targeted because they said something about the person in last place. But all the contestants were attacked. People tend to become short-sighted under severe stress.
아마도
And that's true, although his thoughts revolve around himself even when he's not confused.
어?
And that's pretty cold.
그게
Well, we talk a lot. It's weird, seeing how he's never mean to you like he is to everyone else.
아니에요.
And that's not really true. Ji-young tilted her head while tossing her hair back.
그런가?
Well, you did fail when you went to talk to him.
네.
I'm just worried he might take himself deeper into the mud if this continues. He's knee-deep in the mud already. We shouldn't give S. Ji-young any further chances to act up.
그건
It bothered me,
그렇지만
but it was clearly not the case once we made it to the finals.
그래요.
All the favoritism towards him had disappeared.
그러니까
I thought hissing would be infuriated, but he remained quiet. Is it because he had a criminal record? He was obeying Seung-yeon.
아무래도
He was fond of Seung-yeon. He probably remained quiet because she could have made that decision.
그렇구나.
I guess you could see it that way. He really was fond of Seung-yeon. Ji-young frowned and rolled his eyes, or rolled her eyes. There was a short silence between the two.
그러고 보니
Even earlier, he stopped using Phater for some time,
맞아요.
but started to go at it again. He had been quiet ever since, until S. Young began to impersonate Young.
그래서
Now he's exploding with anger.
역시
That's what infuriates him the most. S. Young insulting Young. Young nodded at her own remark. She paused for some time, but shook her head. Maybe I went too far with that thought. I feel like throwing up.
괜찮아요?
Young, don't overindulge yourself. It was momentary. I'm fine. At this point, Hissing's getting worse. Insanity. Refraining from using Phater after posting a comment about his survival, Hissing has nearly gone crazy after S. Young appeared pretending to be the producer. Oh, that's my first word. My goodness. I've asked a lot of questions. That's the first word I got.
안 되는데.
I hope he'll change his mind.
아무래도
When I saw him earlier, it seemed as if he might have given up all. Does he know that his actions are pointless? It was like he was feeling the compulsive need to gain attention. Ji-young bit on her thumbnail. Her parched lips moved at the tip of her fingernail.
그게
Maybe he's having a panic attack. There are various types of attention. I'm sure he'll come back to his senses if we persuade him by taking turns.
그렇지.
Of course, it's dangerous for him to be staying there alone. I hope he doesn't talk about things like aces or secrets. I'm not sure if he knows anything. I'm not sure if he knows anything though. That's not important right now. Ji-young looked towards Du-yoon. Her eyes looked hollow.
문제는 그거야.
Problem is that how insulting they are. We've been enduring insults between what's real or fake. If somebody stabs us in the middle of that wound, someone else might have to shed blood.
결국
It's the situation that we are in that makes me want to believe what I want to believe. Like how there might be some compensation or how the show might continue.
아니에요.
It's not your fault. We all need something to rely on. Ji-young smiled weakly. Ji-young tried to smile back but didn't know what to make of his face. It feels like I'm relying on luck. It's already a miracle that we're standing alive at the collapse site.
그거야.
We might as well pray for another miracle.
어?
That was a good one.
저기
I'm flattered. Ji-young answered a bit too politely, perplexed by her compliment. Ji-young smirked and squinted. I just wish they would side with me like you're doing. What are you talking about?
아니야.
No one in particular. I was just thinking about a certain point in my life. At least my sanity's going up. Alright, you must have, like, all the words.
이야,
I'm astounded at Hissing's imagination. He's going too far with this.
내 말이
Way too far.
대체
What the hell is he up to? Hina licked her parched lips and raised her eyebrows above her blue eyes.
뭐
So if he exposes our secrets, do we have to fall on our knees and be at his mercy? He should have just pretended to give in and come out with you guys.
아니었어.
He didn't seem all that confident.
그럴지도.
He might give up if we keep talking to him.
야,
I'm not sure if we're mentally and physically fit for that. It's not like we have all the time in the world,
볼 것도 없어.
We should just break into the dressing room and drag him out of there.
그러면
We could aggravate him if we did that. Gyuyuk went to see him, so let's wait and see. I guess Gyuyuk is the only one we can count on right now. Not really. He's also as soft as butter. Oh. Whatever, girl. See, I didn't get a word out of that, did I? I don't remember getting one.
내 참.
Well, it's nothing new, right?
그랬지.
That's true, generally speaking.
진짜.
I'm used to it. Ina, you've experienced it before, right? Ina frowned and closed her eyes. After frantically scratching her short hair, Ina opened her eyes and began to let it all out.
들어봐봐.
He backstabbed me during the team mission. How was I supposed to keep my cool when I got personally insulted by someone on the same team?
그땐
You can look back now, it was all his fault.
당연하지.
Of course it was. Do you know how cheap he is?
그렇잖아.
He didn't care about how he treated me because he thought it would work because of my character. He knew that the editing team was on his side. What a genius, huh?
그랬지.
And that's what really happened.
내 말이.
That was the decisive blow. I was so pissed off. Thanks to the editing team, I became the bully. I was born as the biggest snob in the world.
한도윤.
Am I that bad?
아니,
No, your character has been exaggerated.
알겠어.
I know I have the quality to fit the character. I even agreed to play the character, but making me the bully? That was plain wrong. The show tends to embellish contenders. She is actually confident, but far from arrogant. I wonder what he's up to. I have no clue. I'm sick of hearing him going on about how he's going all the way. It's true, it's kind of annoying. Hastings often said that he would stop at nothing. He always tried to check and exclude his teammates. Alright, well, I got some words out of that.
하여튼
It's like an option that follows him around. Well, I guess it could be a strategy for making himself look good, but that's not the issue here. It won't make him an assistant producer, you know.
내 참.
I hate it when he puts us in his categories and lashes out at us.
그랬었지.
It was worse towards contenders with lower ranking.
그렇잖아.
I thought his dad was the CEO of WBS or something. I wonder why he's been doing that when he has nothing to show for himself. Ina crossed her arms and shook her head. Her short hair looked more disheveled than usual.
어쨌든
He always acted cute in front of the judges, although I don't think they bought it.
그건
He was lazy about practice.
내 말이.
Exactly. Instead of acting cute in front of the judges, he should have practiced more.
아니야?
It's not like we get points for flattery.
말하자면
He's a crooked style. Ina snorted as Jun looked at her questioningly.
정리하면
He's a kiss up, kick down guy, you know.
그렇다니까.
That's the way of his life. That's why nobody likes him on the show. Hissing flattered Sing-young and the judges, but he looked down on the other staff members and other contestants who were ranked below him. Okay. Well, he just doesn't sound like a very nice person. Sounds like a very fake person.
이야.
Compensation, huh? I like the sound of it. Right? Compensation. Ina emphasized the compensation parts. She stared at Dune after repeating the word a few more times. The official count is making mistakes. WBS is up to God knows what, and Singing is... Can't we just get a little hope?
저기
I didn't say anything.
뭐
Your eyes told me that I was pathetic.
어?
Were you able to read them?
진짜야?
Did I get it right?
아니야.
Of course not.
야.
Maybe I got it wrong. Ina twisted her short hair with one of her fingers. They appeared to be exchanging jokes, but nobody laughed.
그래.
I guess people who saw the mention about the compensation must have different expectations. Although it's not even official.
그래도
And like you said, even a little hope would be nice.
전혀?
I changed my mind. As the saying goes, with high expectations come great disappointment. Make up your mind.
그거는
Well, considering the current situation, that should be understandable. Oh, rapport event.
관심 올라가며 받을 순 없겠지.
자주 듣던 말이네.
매번 익숙해지질 않으니까.
S 승연이 과거 얘기한 것 때문이야?
새삼스럽긴 하지. 과거 왜 안 투냐 그런 얘기.
Ina waved her hand in the air.
참가 신청할 때도 대충 상상은 했어. 혹시 뜨면 어떡하지? 나 아직 준비 안 됐는데. 그런 거. 진짜 본선까지 올 줄은 전혀 몰랐지만 경험은 언제나 상상을 뛰어넘는 거였고.
상상 그대로였어도 직접 느끼면 달랐을 거야.
넌 무대 서본 적 있잖아. 밴드 때. 경험 있으면 그래도 좀 낫지?
마스컬레이드 그렇게 팬이 많진 않았어.
개인 팬들 꽤 되지 않아? 내가 들은 게 있는데.
나만 무대 경험이 있는 것도 아니잖아. 너희 크루 공연도 부산에서 먹어주지 않았어?
부산 오뎅이냐? 먹어주게.
Ina put on a bitter smile.
뭐랄까 참 애매해. 개인적인 부분도 다 틀어주는 것 같잖아. 기본적으로는 편집한 장면들이 나가는 건데.
의도에 맞게 붙이면 딴 사람처럼 나갈 수도 있고 나머진 본인 능력인지도 모르겠어. 금방 미천 드러나기도 하고 궁금증을 더 키우기도 하니까.
난 좀 안이하게 생각하기도 했었어. 누가 날 이렇게나 궁금해할 줄 몰랐거든.
Ina shook her head.
보이는 것 이상을 알고 싶어 하지.
무대 위에 있는 모습만으로는 안 되나? 솔직히 나도 옛날에 그렇게 안 됐지만.
알면서 참가한 거 아니냐면 할 말은 별로 없어.
굳이 따지면 이 정도일 줄은 몰랐는데? 정도?
Ina put her hands together on her chest.
누구한테나 비밀은 있잖아. 대단한 거 아니래도 뭐 딱히 남한테 보이기 싫은 거. 저 구석탱이에 하나쯤 숨겨두면 안 되는 건가?
Ina pulled on her earlobe after a brief silence.
오디션판에서 배가 불러 쫙 째지는 소리였지?
우리끼리 생각을 말한 것뿐이니까.
그래, 뭐 잊지 말란다.
Unwanted attention. Ina knew that no one in the show could avoid unwanted attention. Nevertheless, she expressed that the contestants also needed a break from the public eye. Public interest in her private life stresses out. She doesn't understand why her stage performance aren't good enough for some people. It's true, actually. I can totally relate to that. It's not good enough just to be good and perform, but you also have to like lead some crazy perfect life, you know. I don't think it's reasonable. Let's see, was that one bad? I'm beginning to not remember anything. Identity conclusion.
잠깐.
I think hissing is just making a wild guess.
어때?
What do you think?
그럴싸해.
I don't like hissing, but I think he's got a point. You know, the thing they say about the person in last place dying?
아니야?
Who's in last place right now? Hissing, right? Ina looked like she was asking for consent. She took a step back when the silence continued.
뭐야 진짜?
What's this evaluation? I thought you were asking for my opinion. What are you, a judge now? No, that's
아니,
not.
그럴까?
If they're the one who exposed hissing before, wouldn't they try to attack him only? To
그땐
be honest, S.Ying talked about all of us.
야,
Even then, they exposed him with an anonymous account and disappeared. It's not unusual, but it's similar to now.
글쎄.
I'm not sure.
그래도
Aside from that, I think he was too hasty. He'll say no whether it's true or not. It'll only provide reasons for the spectators. He's always hasty. Suspicion of identity. Ina somewhat agrees with Hissing's speculation about S.Ying. They disclosed the assault case and disappeared, hiding behind an anonymous Phater account. talking about how I was favored by the editing team and all.
아니야?
Hissing was the true Prince of B-Stars. They removed anything negative and only showed the good parts.
아니었어.
But that has stopped ever since the exposure of his violent past.
야,
But he had everything worked out for him until that point.
한도윤.
You once fell victim to their magical editing, so you should know better. Yoon unknowingly rubbed his mouth. Ina clicked her tongue with a disapproving look on her face.
내 참.
You're as soft as butter despite your devilish eyes. I like butter. Yeah, butter is creamy and... forget it.
그렇잖아?
He was on a roll in the beginning thanks to the favorable editing. Everyone knows that.
그거 있잖아.
But you were also one of those contenders who were able to keep their past. Ina raised the corner of her mouth and frowned. She uncrossed her arms and shook her head. Shook her hand.
으이,
If
진짜.
you're going to talk about my past, just go away. Shoo. I'm a mosquito now? You certainly sound like one. Shoo. Okay, I'm sorry. Think about how he had been receiving all the benefits. Oh, really? I think that would be a big deal to talk about that. Not at this point, but I guess so. I don't know. I really don't know. Like I said, the game confuses me. The script confuses me.
진짜.
What is he, a one-man media show? He's having all the fun by himself.
대체
What do you think he's up to?
됐어.
How would I know what's going on in the futuristic brain of his? I hope he doesn't make things any more serious than they already are. Ina glared at her side as she were standing next to Hissing and came back to Dune.
어?
What? You heard nothing? Are you even listening? Anyhow, he was treating it like his business fund.
맞아.
It sure is. And he has to hide it to make it look bigger. Ina snorted, but her eyes were quivering.
혹시
What the hell is he up to? If he so much as... So much as what?
아니야.
Nah, let's just beat the crap out of him and drag his ass out of there.
만약에
Looks fine now, but it's dangerous in there. We must consider various methods. Right, put some duct tape on his mouth, tie his fingers or whatever. Oh. Well, I wouldn't go that far.
말하자면
Jing was right all along. People gave me their votes so I can make it to the next stage.
완전 아니야.
It's one thing to drop out of the show voluntarily, but he can't make me quit with some ridiculous gimmick.
아무래도
Nobody's going to agree. He's being unreasonable. Ina crossed her arms and snorted. She was staring off somewhere in the distance behind Duyun.
그렇잖아.
It's funny how he would say this, but technically the contenders are supposed to be comrades, right? We've been through thick and thin, whether we like it or not.
그렇지?
I don't think we would have lasted if there was only competition. Hissing was always all out on competition mode. I guess he can't accept the current situation. Both of them stared at the door at the far end of the stage. No answer came out from the locked door. Wake up, please. Look at this mess we're in right now. I'm just afraid something might happen. I've only got 1 of 7 words. Come on, Ina. Give me some words.
그게
Do you think they might continue with the show? I don't know, but I know how he feels now.
알겠어.
You're the only one. I know what it feels like too. Ina looked down at her feet quietly. Dean spoke first, after staring at Ina for a moment.
저기
What are you thinking about?
어?
Me?
그게
I just thought we've come a long way.
그래.
Yeah, but we knew it was going to be a long way. But it was different from what I imagined.
맞아.
I agree. I'm not sure if there's going to be a next episode.
그래.
They are talking about compensation or whatever, but this public opinion might not even last. We have no clue as to what's going on out there since we're stuck in this hellhole. Where do you think we're going?
말이 돼?
It was ridiculous.
맞아.
I thought Hyosung would receive some damage.
내 말이.
I know, stabbing a teammate in the back during the team mission?
그랬었지.
I think everyone was clueless there. Hina dropped her head and scratched the back of her head. Dion couldn't read her facial expression since her hair was hiding her face. Fake. How could he say that to someone's face?
혹시
Did you ask him why he said that?
당연하지.
Of course. I was going to kick him in the ass if he said some bullshit.
그래?
What was his answer? He said he called me fake because I was fake. See, did you kick him in the ass? Well, obviously she didn't kick him in the ass. You must be shocked.
대체
I guess it must have been absurd. That wasn't an explanation.
내 참.
Explanation my ass. He's just picking a fight again. I had to stop myself from giving him a smack in the head.
어쨌든
Come on. I could have knocked him down if I really wanted. Hina raised her forearm. The sweat on her arm muscle glittered. But I didn't because I didn't want to kill anybody.
그렇다니까.
I realized I had made the right choice when I watched the show on TV. They made it look like I was the one who started it,
그랬지.
but in fact it was the other way around. Hina bit her lower lip, but soon regained her composure and let out a sigh.
그거는
I guess that's because this is the role I must play. It's not a character fabricated by the show. What's wrong with you all of a sudden? You shouldn't let it get to you.
왜?
Why? Do I look like a puppet to you? Hina drew her eyebrows together.
그거야.
You sound like you're in despair.
아니거든.
I don't think so. Aside from rare occasions, I like the characters.
그래?
Even if they play with the editing and make it look like you started it? Hey, you're still top 5 even after you were portrayed as the betrayer who backstabbed the other band members. I think I'll be fine. Dion could only scratch the back of his head at Ina's remark. I don't mind being someone else. I can't change myself if I get picky.
괜찮아?
You don't mind becoming someone other than yourself? Ina closed her mouth and fell silent for a moment.
그래.
I don't. I'll play what's expected of me if that's what it takes. The image in real life differs a lot from that on TV. She's just playing a character designed by the show. She seems fairly content with her different depiction. Do you get it? I want to become a completely different person. During the team mission, Hyosung irritated his teammate Ina by calling her a fake. That scene was edited to portray Hyosung as a victim, when in fact he was the one who verbally offended her. I need some more words, you jerks. You're not giving me enough. He acted like one of them spoiled brats. He was so swell-headed that I almost bowed every time I saw him.
그래.
I think he had his own standard.
완전 아니야?
Who knows? I don't want to know. So I guess Mr. Duyun was able to pass his criteria, huh?
그렇잖아.
He's not as cocky when he's with you as when he's with us, right?
그거야.
I think he's a bit different. Ina nudged Duyun on the side while he was thinking about something. Whoa.
한도윤.
I'm so jealous of you.
그거지.
A man recognized by the young master. Stop it.
어?
Whoa, don't look so discouraged. I sincerely apologize. Are you okay now? Okay, I forgive you.
이야.
That's quick. Anyhow, he was just too much. Moods go up and down.
애매한데.
Now that I think about it, I'm confused again.
그래?
Do you think S. Young is a different person now? To be honest, I wasn't even that sure earlier. Ina grumbled and folded her hands behind her back. It feels like I'm manipulated by what Hyosung said, but it feels terrible. And it feels
그건-
terrible. I wouldn't call it manipulation.
내 참.
What do you know about the delicate emotion of a lady? I don't know about your delicate emotion, but I know you're not a lady. Look at you, clinging onto minor things. Well, good for you with your broad view.
이야.
Gosh, you're such a weirdo.
Huh?
When is this going to stop?
그거는
Until I feel better. Ina was chattering away, but there was a somber look on her face. Duyun also felt awkward and took a step back. I feel like crap thanks to what S. Young said.
그래도
Still, I don't feel like going toe-to-toe with them like Hyusung did.
그럴지도.
He might not look like an accident survivor.
그래.
Yeah, I should be all quiet and miserable. So that people would pity me and turn a blind eye to their misgivings towards me. Like what I've been doing so far. I have no one to fight for me. Okay, what is going on? Is there more stuff I can... I need more words. Oh, I got nothing. Oh. It's acting like I never talked to him.
이럴 줄은.
He won't get any of this. He won't get anything out of this audition if that continues. He said he had nothing to lose. I still think. Oh, wait. No. Did I not save after talking to him? I mean, unless all of those are bad. I mean, there might be. I didn't think I had that many conversations that dropped my mood with him, though. Oh, that's also bad. Wait. Really? All these things he's saying are bad? Drops his mood like crazy. Oh, yeah. Is the demand for privacy protection unreasonable? Something might have to be sacrificed. That's what everybody wants.
그거 있잖아.
Everyone wants their privacy to be respected. Whether he's confident about it or not depends on his standard. Now that you mention it, everyone, huh?
그치만요.
The contenders who made it to the finals of B-Stars. Can you consider them everyone? Everyone should include an ordinary person like me, right? Seal clenched his messenger bag. There's something you should know. A person with talent shines.
그리고
When someone shines, it casts a shadow.
있잖아.
That shadow is...
그 말은
It's the attention from the outside, regardless of its effect on the contestants. Sometimes it could be jealousy. A quiet and peaceful life, you need to give that up. You cannot avoid unwanted attention. If you really don't want it, then all you have to do is just do nothing.
아시겠어요?
If not, you'll just have to keep on selling your stories. No matter how others receive it, you'll just have to live with it.
말도 안 돼요.
Do you want to protect your true self? That's talking high and mighty. There's so many people that are willing to give up everything to get popular. There are desperate people everywhere. Desperate people. Unfair? Excessive? Hurtful? You've been given a chance at least. Seal believes that people with extraordinary talents cannot live peaceful lives, and that's the dark side of talent.
그러면
He could be doing that out of desperation, though.
그렇다니까요.
The thing is, he has no musical talent. That's why he's ignoring the sufferings of others and complaining. Not pretend. Seal criticized Hyusung for complaining too much whenever another contestant gained even a bit of advantage without fully considering their circumstances. Really? I guess I didn't save when I talked to him. Or there's that many more words came up just for him.
참.
His son nipped at all kinds of trivial things. He raved on about Juyu making a debut in the past, calling it unfair. The same thing happened when Gyuyuk's family history was exposed. Unfair?
그렇죠.
He insisted that he should be disqualified for having strings to pull. I was already in a band, so that makes me...
아닌데요.
He didn't care about you since your band wasn't that popular.
그게
Can't deny that.
말도 안 돼요.
It's funny he would do that. He's the one who should be disqualified for his criminal record. Everyone who made it out of preliminaries had their own stories. If they have nothing to hide, there's nothing wrong with revealing their past, but I'm sure Hissing wanted to hide his. Everyone's too sensitive about privacy. Would I be harsh for saying that they have too many demands? Something might have to be sacrificed.
아무래도
Maybe we had to make a compromise. We had to become the talk of the town in order to come up in the game.
맞아요.
Right, we need to be clear on something. A person with talent shines.
그리고
Oh, okay. The rest of it's normal. I dropped my mood for your stupid word. God, you're a pain in the ass, you.
저
I'm not in the
그런데요.
position to talk about that.
아마도
Yusing isn't the only one who's hoping for something to happen.
그거야.
The show has been making mistakes. I'm sure all of you have different thoughts in mind. I hope they make confirmations.
근데 그게
It's already a mess. It's difficult for them to promise anything. Seal hesitated while checking Dean's facial expression. Seal's shoulders slouched when their eyes met.
도윤이 형.
You must be confused too. If you were in a difficult situation when you joined you were in a difficult situation when you joined B-Stars. What's your personal take? Do you think the show will continue? Are you hoping for it to continue? Yeah, sure.
아무래도
I kind of do. Like you said, it was a difficult situation when I joined the show.
알겠어요.
I admire your honesty, although I can't tell you about what's going to happen.
근데
So,
그게
how far is your story? How far is your story true? Dean looked confused, and Seal carefully chose his words. Yeah, choose words that make sense.
사실은
I heard you didn't know about Masquerade applying for the show.
Oh.
Oh, that.
맞아.
You're right. Wusuk filled out the application.
그런
Wusuk? The new vocalist? Did he apply for the show without telling the other members?
그랬었지.
He informed us after the beginning date of the preliminaries was fixed. Half of the team wanted to go for it while the other half didn't.
어?
What about you?
나는
I didn't want to do it at first. Dean unknowingly bit his lip. The members who were on the verge of getting kicked out of the band were on my side. The other members who wanted to must have sided with the vocalist then. It was that bad, huh?
그랬지.
The whole team had been discouraged when our record deal went astray. Usuk thought my objection was the biggest reason for ruining the deal.
그렇다고 볼 수 있죠.
He must have felt offended since he was the one who put all the effort into making the deal. That taught me a different way of seeing things.
혹시
I thought maybe participating in the show could put us back together. We all came to B-Stars together after persuading other members. The members on the vocalist side notified other members about joining an audition. Dune thought it was an opportunity to reunite the whole band, so persuaded the others to prepare for the preliminaries. Dune has persuaded the other members to join B-Stars, or Buried Stars. After all, the band failed to make it to the finals. Seal took a deep breath. Seal spoke after a brief pause.
그렇죠.
B-Stars got high ratings. They made an issue out of the incident. As long as you can keep the fire going, you can't blame other people for being hopeful about it.
그렇다는 건
Are you saying it's possible for the show to continue?
불확실해요.
I can't guarantee it. I'm just saying there's a possibility based on my experience. Seal's gaze turned to the judges section where Seyoung was located. Although we have this serious incident at hand, B-Star Season 4 recorded the highest ratings ever with more people interested in the show after this incident. The broadcaster will somehow resume B-Stars if this popularity remains. You got a lot of words for me, sir. Too bad you're such a pain in the ass.
너무 나갔어요.
He was such a troll back then. He's a troll. He probably didn't know that he was on a team mission.
그래도
Controversy died out quickly, though.
저
The seriousness of the
그런데요.
incident tends to change depending on how you look at it. Did you know? Even back then, he was going for broke.
음,
I remember.
그렇다니까요.
That's Hyesung. He fans the flames, then says he did it out of desperation. If you respond to him in a commonsensical way, you become a villain who ignores a desperate person.
그렇다는 건
It's like you're explaining a certain trick. Seal put on a smirky smile.
맞아요.
You're right, that's Hyesung's trick. He's a troll who doesn't care whether you're on the same team or not. Even now, he couldn't care less for the collapse stage. Guess so.
세상.
Another specialty of Hyesung's. He's always sucking up to the judges, but looks down on other contenders who are weaker than he is.
혹시
If you're talking about his tone of voice or difficult personality,
네?
come on, you know what I'm talking about. There's a thin line between being difficult or rude.
아시겠어요?
He's just plain rude. Seal turned his mouth up slightly. He's respectful towards the producer and judges only. He doesn't care about the rest, including other contenders and staff members.
그렇다니까요.
Once you experience it, you can never forget it.
괜찮아?
Seal, are you okay?
그런 편이죠.
I think so. Hyesung's been digging his own grave. Opportunities cannot succeed forever. Hyesung, the virtuoso of logic. I have a name for his reasoning. The file on the final incident of Hyesung, the detective.
저기
He must have his reasons.
그래요.
He could have thought they were perfect only in his head,
100%예요.
but he's 100% wrong. Hyesung is the one who broke his assault scandal. He must be delusional.
그렇다는 건
You seem pretty confident.
그렇죠.
Of course I am. Don't you agree with me? Yeah, it's nonsense.
그래.
To be honest, it doesn't even make sense. Hyesung wasn't the only one attacked by Seung.
그러니까요.
Think about it once and you get the picture, right? He doesn't listen to a word other people say. Seo clicked his tongue. He locked eyes with Yoon again, who was standing awkwardly.
그리고
The victim who broke the past of his school violence has already been checked by the staff. His claim was true.
세상.
They're just blurting out whatever comes to their mind.
아무래도요.
If they're the ones who broke Hyesung's school violence history, why would they attack Ju-young, Ina, Gyuyuk, and Yu? I hope they say something that makes sense for a change. Seo firmly rejected Hyesung's argument. The victim of his violence was verified by the staff, and Seung is provoking not only Hyesung but every other contestant. Was this one bad? That's some pathetic logic.
그래?
You don't agree with him?
그렇다니까요.
Why would the person who exposed his past attack others as well?
그래도
Seung said they'd do something to the person in last place. That's as good as sniping at Hyesung, no?
아니죠.
Hyesung's just bait. There are too many details. Oh wait, no, we did do this one, right? He just dropped his mood. Yeah, dropped his mood, no word choices. Not worth talking about, apparently. Okay, so we're getting closer. We've got new words that we learned.
그때
It wasn't easy to hold Ina back.
맞아요.
It was ridiculous seeing how he was attacking the same team.
그럴까?
Did he see her as an obstacle? Strangely, it didn't become a major issue, though. He was on a roll. Everything was working out for him, including the editing. Ina shrugged her shoulders when she caught Jung's eyes from the other side. She was sticking out her chin as if she was saying, "What's wrong with him?" He said the same thing back then, that he'd go all the way.
아마도
I thought he was being figurative when in fact he was being as literal as he could be.
그러니까
Ina felt really hurt. I'm sure she was caught off guard since they were on the same team mission. Considering the context at the time, just appealing to his strengths would have been enough. It's just that there were invisible issues before that time.
물론이야.
It's true he discriminated people by putting them into categories.
아무래도
Anybody could tell.
그때
It was in the order of the production executives, producer, and judges. I told him to go easy, but he wouldn't listen to me.
나도야.
I also had a talk with him about that. Ji-young tilted her head as she was trying to recall the talk she had with Hyusung. Ji-young waited until Ji-young spoke again.
그러고 보니
He told me I shouldn't meddle with his business because he had his sources. That sounds typical of him. Now that I'm talking about it, it's all coming back to me. His own resources? What do you think he meant by that? Probably Seung-yoon.
아마도
Would be Seung-yoon. She was the highest ranking staff.
확실히
Seung-yoon, that's a possibility. Everyone had to work with her throughout the entire show, and she had full authority. Ji-young slowly shook her head. Her long hair brushed against her clothes to make a soft sound. Someone who'd give him the power to be rude to anyone in the show. It can't be the WS executives, since he didn't get to see them often. Other staff members all followed Seung-young's instructions.
분명해.
The more I think about it, the more conviction I get. Hyusung's resource must be Seung-yoon. Hyusung acted like someone was backing him up whenever he caused trouble. Could it be Seung-yoon? Getting closer.
그런가?
Ina seemed to believe it to some extent.
어?
What do you think?
아니,
I don't think so. You seem very certain about it. We all got attacked. Ji-yoon paused as if she was chewing over what she just said. She stared at Ji-yoon and shook her head again.
생각해봐.
That account was only interested in Hyusung. The whole purpose was to disclose Hyusung's incident. He is buried in his own thoughts. That's why the accountant who sniped at him came to mind. He shouldn't blindly push ahead, though.
만약에
If I'm to open up a little possibility, he didn't drop out of the show even after the exposure. And that's why he's unhappy with the entire show, including us.
그게
That's why he attacked all of us. Ji-young nodded but frowned shortly after.
그건
Even if that's true,
그렇지만
what S. Ji-young said still bothered me. We couldn't just disregard them as plain guesswork. So we're back to the conclusion that it may not be the case. I said all this stuff drops his mood. He's just a moody bastard. Or it drops my mood. That's what I needed. Okay, whatever.
그런데 건데?
What do you think he's going to talk about?
글쎄요.
Well, I'm more worried about him being agitated.
그게
You think it's because of Phater? If he only looks at his own timeline, he might think more people are supporting him. Really? Nobody supports me on my timeline. Ji-young covered her mouth as if she had made a mistake.
그래도
Still, more people were cheering me on until the finals began.
그렇구나.
I wasn't thinking. There were times when I felt like talking about anything. I wanted to tell my story regardless of how people might respond.
그렇지.
I can understand that. Houston sometimes overdid himself hoping to garner a positive response.
네.
What he's doing right now is similar, although it's more serious this time.
근데
I think Houston has much to say. He might ask us to drop out openly or reveal the info he claims to have. I hope not.
나도야.
Me too. If he gets obsessed with how people are responding, he'll just be digging himself a deeper hole. Speculation. Ji-young guessed that what Houston would announce, he could openly demand that other contestants give up, or he might disclose some secrets to apply pressure. Yeah, well, we kind of already know that. That's like, that was the whole point of the last conversation with him. But I guess maybe she doesn't know that.
아무래도
I don't think he'll expose anything significant. He didn't tell me anything when I asked him earlier.
그건
He was either trying to hold onto it or he knew it wasn't anything significant. You think it's the latter, right? Latter, not ladder. He's actually not the type to take what really matters.
그래요.
That makes sense. Now that I think about it.
왜일까?
I wonder why he's acting all mean when he doesn't have to. Ji-young stared at the other side of the door with a worried look on her face. Ji-young couldn't tell if she was worried about the announcement or Hyesung.
글쎄요.
At this point, the response won't be positive. I hope he will reconsider his plan before carrying it out.
난
To be honest, I'm not sure if I could suppress it while talking to him. We would need to persuade him before you go there. Ji-hyuk went to see him, so let's not think too deeply about it for now. After pondering for a moment, Ji-young raised her head.
그래.
Okay. I'm hoping Ji-hyuk will talk him out of it.
아니야?
What can he possibly have? I could tell he was bluffing when he made a fuss about making that announcement.
결국
That would be damaging him too. That would be damaging too eventually, or that would be damaging to him too eventually. Something comes to mind. I knew you'd know something. Ina turned her head and asked while glancing at Duyun. It looked like she wanted Duyun to confirm that there wouldn't be anything serious.
글쎄.
Nothing I can think of. Of course,
그래도
but he must have something to be acting that way, right?
야,
Hey, make up your mind. Did he look like he had something up his sleeve, or is he just bluffing? I think he sounded like he was bluffing, but I'll just say he thinks like he had something. I don't know.
아마도
I think he had something. I don't think he was bluffing about the whole thing.
알겠어.
Thanks for confirming it for me. You don't look that thankful.
뭐?
Do you want me to smile and show how grateful I am? No, thank you. Ina pouted her lips. She was looking down at her feet and her eyes were quivering slightly.
확실하지 않아.
Whether he has something up his sleeve or not, he's just trying to gain attention. He's just pretending to know something when in fact he doesn't.
아무래도
He has to do something to live up to the high expectations. He's probably just digging his own grave. I just hope he won't drag us down with him. If that happens, I won't be able to stop myself from kicking him. Plus, Ina believes that Hyesung thoughtlessly posted comments on Phater while he was just doing anything to show off himself to get people's attention. That was the thing, huh? I should probably answer differently, though. No, don't do that one. Yeah, I really don't think he has anything, because he doesn't sound specific. It's just all BS, really.
그게
To be honest, he didn't seem to have anything on him. Maybe he's just bluffing about the whole thing,
그런 거야?
right? Why didn't you say so from the beginning? You got me all confused. You should take a firm stand like that from now on.
그래?
Was I that capricious?
그렇다니까.
Yeah, you were like a reed trembling in the wind. I see. Ina didn't look nervous anymore. Ina groaned and stared at Diyun again.
정리하면
She's trying to gain attention. Oh, okay, this stuff is the same. Guys, any more new subjects? No? Oh, I guess we could talk about speculation with him. Knowing him, though, he'll just drop my sanity. Everything about Seal is like... he's such a drag.
도윤이 형,
Are you excited or worried?
아무래도
I'm worried, of course. I wonder what he's up to.
Huh?
Oh yeah? I'm rather excited.
Huh?
What? Excited about what?
그거야.
The level of expectation and excitement is the highest up until something is revealed. But once it's announced, the disappointment begins. Seal pulled at his bag strap. He was smiling, but his eyes were glaring. I'm really excited about his unstoppable downfall.
알잖아.
We need to stop him before that happens.
왜요?
Why? He's digging his own grave. We might as well take this opportunity to get rid of him and start all over. Unless he comes back to his senses before it happens, which is very unlikely. Now, see, I knew talking to you about anything would bring down my sanity. It's just such a little bitch. He's such a resentful person, you know? He's like full of hate. Shall we leave now and move on? Yes.
혜성이 저러는 거 순이 때문만은 아닐 거야.
지휘 부른 그 타령인데?
생각 깊은 놈은 아니지만 주영 씨 말도 맞아요. 피디님 돌아가신 일도 이유긴 하겠죠.
그래, 분명히.
Ina tugged at Diyun's sleeve.
뭐야? 나만 눈치 없는 사람이야? 쫓아다녔다는 거 말고 또 뭐 있어?
Seeing his death clearly contributed to the madness of Hyesung. Diyun decided to elaborate why he thought so.
아까 얘기에서도 나왔어. 짐작 가는 이유는
See, malcontent. Seal criticized Hyesung for complaining too much when he had another contestant gained. Unknown support. Hyesung acting like someone was backing him. That could be it. Insanity. I think these two make sense.
혜성이 문제 터질 때마다 피디님을 믿는 구석으로 여겼으니까. 전과 터지고부턴 안 먹혔던 것 같지만.
정도껏 해야 실드 쳐주죠.
어쨌든 혜성이는 피디님한테 의지했던 것 같아.
그랬던 게 아까 눈앞에서 끝나버렸고. 혜성이 페이터에 처음 글 쓰곤 조금 누그러지는 것 같았잖아?
엄청 구박받아서 그런 거 아니야?
다시 격앙되기 시작한 게 언제라고 생각해?
피디님 발견하고 난 다음에.
PD님을 사칭한 S승연이 나타났지. 그때부터야. 말하자면 혜성이가 PD님을 따르고 PD님도 혜성이를 예뻐한 건 어느 정도 사실이었던 것 같아. PD님 시신을 발견했을 때 큰 충격을 받았겠지.
그래서 S승연한테 제대로 뚜껑이 열린 거다.
Hyesung panicked. Hyesung was clearly favored by Seungyeon. He grew unstable after discovering her body and went mad as an anonymous account called S. Young began to write posts. A shadow appeared from the other side of the stage. They all turned towards it.
저요.
혜성이는?
미안해. 보시다시피야.
Gyeok's return. Gyeok came back alone after speaking to Hisung. He seemed to fail to persuade him.
이 인간 진짜 1대1로 다 만날 작정인가?
분장실에 계속 머무는 건 위험한데.
역시 상대를 안 하는 게 낫겠어요.
억지로 끌고 나오는 게 맞을지도.
분장실 문 잠그고 기다리던데.
그랬지. 밀고 들어가기도 안 되나?
Deegan sighed and lowered his head.
아니 왜?
혜성이 또 글을 올렸어.
The contestant in last place will be dropped. Do what you want to do. Easier said than done in front of the computer. Bring it on. The group fell silent. Ina barely managed to open her mouth.
얘... 뭔 생각인 것 같아?
내가 간 게 혜성이를 더 자극한 걸지도 몰라.
그보단 S 승연이랑 치고받으면서 더 심해진 거야.
After a short silence, Ina came forward.
내가 쟤랑 얘기 좀 해야겠어.
혼자요? 위험한데.
다 혼자 갔잖아. 이제 와서 몰려가면 문이나 열어주겠냐?
그래도
문 부수게? 벽 무너지면 몰살이야.
Hearing Ina's remark, Seal hunched up his shoulders.
혜성이 흥분한 상태야. 지금 가는 건 좋은 선택이 아니야.
좋고 나쁘고 간에 할 얘기가 있어서 그래.
설득해보려고?
말해보다 안 되면 조인트 까고 머리채 잡아야지.
I really like Ina. She's definitely my favorite character. You will lose if you lose your temper.
흥분하면 지는 거야. 할 말 있으면 어디까지나 말로 해.
설마 내가 정말 패겠냐? 어쨌든 저대로는 못 둬. 어떻게든 끄집어내야지.
다 숨어 있다가 덮쳐서 끌고 나오는 방법은요?
혼자 간다니까. 좀 내버려 둬.
Ina stormed out, but briefly paused.
안 된다 싶으면 컴백할게. 따라오지 마.
정말 괜찮겠어?
괜찮다고 하기도 슬슬 지치거든.
She looked determined. They couldn't hold her back anymore. They could only watch as she disappeared to the other side of the stage. Looking at the door for some time, Deegan suddenly sensed someone's presence.
진짜 괜찮을까요?
저렇게까지 나오니
대체 서혜성이 페이터에 뭐라고 해놨는데요?
넌 페이터 볼 방법이 없었지?
네, 속 터져 죽겠어요.
Deegan opened his watch and showed him Husing's post.
익사이팅하네, 진짜.
Seal raised his head and let out a deep sigh. There was a brief silence. Finally, Seal moved towards Deegan again.
다른 건 뭐 없어요?
다른 거?
Seal looked very frustrated. He opened Phater again to check other issues. The surprising announcement is about voluntary resignation. Then it's Sinyoung's victory. Hissing's haters think that Hissing's so-called important announcement meant voluntary resignation under pressure from Seung. The hasn't in last place will be dropped. Do what you want to do. Easier said than done in front of the computer. Bring it on. That's right, yeah. Hissing posted another provocative comment on Phater, but it wasn't about his important announcement. Hissing's fans want to insist that the violence scandal was fake, but since there are more than one victim, they won't succeed. A number of people disclosed that Hissing also beat them up in the past, just like he had done to the first victim. Hissing's school violence was disclosed right after the top 10 was announced. Are there anyone who don't believe that it was pre-planned? Hissing's fans claim that his school violence issue is nothing more than a malicious rumor to lower his ranking or kick him out of the audience. Or kick him out of the audition. Oh, is there more on there that I don't know about? Stop reading then.
서혜성이 또 뭘 질렀다던가.
그렇지는 않아. 지금 페이터에는
Let's see here. Provocative comment prediction.
혜성이 아까 글이 제일 화제 같다.
골 때리는 건 그만한 게 없을 테니까요.
정신적으로 몰린 게 느껴져.
스스로를 몰아넣은 거잖아요. 이나 씨가 귀때기라도 잡고 나왔으면 좋겠네요.
Seal sighed deeply while staring at the other side. After the talk, some time had passed. An ominous air surrounded the area. Oh, did I give him the wrong answer? Does that kill everybody when you give them the wrong answer? The intense tremor quickly faded out.
누나, 괜찮아요?
무사해. 나는
톰, 점점 짧아지는 것 같은데?
구조대도 들어오고 있죠. 최대한 좋은 쪽만 생각하면 중앙복도 괜찮겠죠?
내가 가 있던 때 정도 아닐까?
이나 씨 무사한지 보러 가야겠어요.
Seal ran off immediately.
세이라!
Someone grabbed Duyun's arm.
도윤아,
Gi-hyuk stood right next to him.
영희 누나랑 같이 있는 게 좋겠어.
Duyun was there, catching her breath with her face all pale.
누나, 괜찮아요?
버틸만은 해. 잠시만. 이대로 놔둬.
일단 지켜보자.
알겠어.
Duyun suddenly looked at Gi-hyuk with bated breath.
혜성이하고는 무슨 얘기했어? 들어보질 못했네.
오자마자 많은 일들이 있었으니까.
Gi-hyuk began his story with a bitter smile on his face. All right, boy, we've gone through a lot. Why don't we stop it there? This is audapostrophe. You've been watching Buried Stars on Nintendo Switch. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed watching. I will see you at the next stream.